Well, hello and welcome back to my channel. And I'm en route to another camp, and I thought I'd stop off on Scafell just to show you what conditions are like on the coldest day of the year so far. I'm not telling you exactly where I'm going, but it's over that way. And this road across Scafell, see where it stretches there, it's absolutely treacherous today. I've seen a couple of cars abandoned down that way already. I nearly crashed, to be honest. Coming over a little bridge down there, everything locked up, so I was just sliding along. I just come off the brakes and managed to get some grip and saved it going into the wall. But yeah, that was a scary moment. I wasn't going fast, but you don't need to be. So my concern now, you can see the road. It's not. I've been over here when it's been all snowed up, and it's easier than it is now, because when you've got ice, there's just no grip at all. At least you can get some grip on the snow. But my concern now is getting off Scafell down the other side. So I'm just going to have to be really careful. But it looks awesome, doesn't it? Look at that. Where do you think I'm going? I'm going somewhere I've been up there a couple of times before. I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to pitch, but I've never camped there, and I've never really seen anyone camp there. As you know, I like to do the different places. Sort out my own routes and my own pitches that maybe other people haven't done. I mean, I'm sure someone's done it, but I haven't seen any videos of it. Yeah, so the forecast for tonight is for strong winds. Well, it's about 30 miles an hour, and it's really cold. But now there's nothing. So let's hope they've got it wrong, and it's going to be less than what they forecast, and not more than what they forecast. Right, get back in the car and keep going. I'm just got to be really careful, as I said, about this descent off Scafell in the car. Wish me luck. Well, I've just made it to the car park, and the jets are out. That'd be nice. Hope I get to see them later. Oh, here they are. That's good timing. Look at that. Here. Oh, look at that. Just cruising there. I can't believe the timing on that. Yeah, so I made it over Scafell, getting down the other side. It was absolutely treacherous, it really was. What I would say to you, if you're planning to come to this area, not passage closed as well, obviously, access only on this road, but if you're planning to come to this Eskdale area in winter, you need to get yourself some 4-season tyres at least. I don't care if you've got a 4x4 or any of that rubbish, it's all down to the tyres. I only just made it myself. I've got 4-season tyres. They're not full winters, which would be better, but yeah, that's why it's so quiet. I mean, there's no one else here, but yeah, so at least I've made it here, and I'm not going to do Scafell tomorrow morning going back, because it's going to be even worse. So I'll have to probably go right round, but I'll sort that out in the morning. So it's 1:15 now, a bit later than I would hope to be setting off. I've just put that on my windscreen there, so hopefully tomorrow de-icing will be a bit easier. But yeah, when I set off, and 15 minutes into the trip here, I realised I've forgotten my boots. Oh god, so I had to turn around and go back home and get my boots. Bloody hell. Anyway, all my stuff's there. Heavy rucksack as usual. This is supposed to be a really cold one. If the forecast right, I think we're looking at -8, -9 tonight. So I need all the winter gear for this for sure. So I'll get myself sorted out and get up there. Hands are freezing already. Let's get these on. Right, let's go. Get there in a minute. Whew. So we're going about 15 minutes now. Just started to gain a bit of height, start getting the views. Look at it, it's gorgeous, just blue skies. And yeah, so I'm generating a bit of body heat now, but it always makes me laugh when I see people starting off on walks. When they set off, they've got down jackets, hard shells. God, I don't know why, unless it must be really cold, but unless it's raining, I just set off like this. I'm warm now. This is going to be coming off soon, probably. Sleeves get rolled up, because as soon as you get moving, especially with that on your back, you know, it's exercise and you're generating body heat. And the last thing you want to do is start sweating, especially in conditions like this. Staying dry is your #1 priority, staying dry. Because if you get wet and cold, it's going to be horrible. But look at that hard knot there, looking across the Crinkle Crags as well. So we'll keep moving, generate a bit more height, and then we'll be able to see better views of the Scafell area just over this crest here. We'll keep going. Look at that. Yes. Ooh. Starting to open up. What we got? Crinkle Crags, Scafell, Pike, Hill Crag, Scafell. That gives you that. As soon as you see stuff like that, it just gives you a boost, mentally and physically. It just, yeah. Oh. This top's coming off. I've got like a thermal top underneath this. I know it gets tough around here, so this top's going to come off before I start sweating. Whew. So I've just stripped that thermal layer off now, but it's important now. As soon as you take that off, you start to feel cold immediately. So it's important to get moving again, regenerate that body heat, because you quickly become cold if you don't. There's a lot of ice under this snow, so it's can be a bit tricky navigating. So do not want to fall. As I always say, this is for the Lake District, it's remote here, and I do not want to have to drag someone else out to look after my arse. So I've always got that in mind. Ooh. Ooh. And take the utmost care, not take any silly risks. The problem with this area in winter is there's a lot of these bog type areas, and in winter it's all covered in snow and you can't see where the drops are. So you've just got to be really careful, looking for patches of water. Also listening out for running water. Just have a stop sometimes. I can't hear any. It's just, they're just clues that trying to help you find these drops. and maybe look up there for where a stream starts and try and track it through the bogs. It is difficult, but you've got to be aware of it. I see some wet patches there and over there. Anyway, we'll carry on. Right, so I need to get across this lot. And the narrowest section. Going this, these are paths. These paths are just basically just sheep tracks through the bogs. So there's no one's walked them before. So this is the path there. So just plodding on through snow. It's tiring. It is. And the thing is, this is the easy bit. So we'll consider it a warm-up. We're going up there. Well, that's a plan. And it is a slog, even in not winter conditions. So I've just dropped into some shade now behind these crags. There's a bit of a breeze and that temperature's really dropped. I can feel it in my body. There's a stream there. I've only brought half a litre of water, so I know there's a water source up here. I'm going to collect some water there. Whew. Looking good though, really good. Yeah, but I don't want to stop here too long in this shade and get cold, so I'll keep moving. So the path now is just petered out to nothing. I think it might be over there, but I've got these patches of ice. Just need to be dead careful. I've got crampons with me. Oh, I don't want to put them on yet. That's the path there. Just had a chocolate bar. First real obstacle. Normally I just wade across that, but I have to have a think about this. Is there somewhere narrower? Chocolate stuck to my teeth and it's from the Snickers. Looks okay there. I think that's the path. So, but what I've worked out, I haven't seen any actual footsteps yet. I think it's sheep that, because they're all little holes in the snow. It looks like sheep have been up here, and I certainly haven't seen anyone. Right, I'm going to stride this. Ooh. See what I mean about them? And then a few of them have probably been this way, but they're all little. There's compare that to a boot. Right, onward. Oh man, this is heavy going. So I've lost the path again. See it on the map, it's here somewhere, but see what I mean? I'll start heading up a bit, I think. I need to get around this little crag just there. Just need to get around that. And then there's a relatively flat section before we start the real ascent. Before the warm-up's over. Bloody hell. I just had to start my legs, my ears. I'm going to have to, there's a bit of a breeze coming now. It's nothing at all, but you feel it when you're walking, and my ears are starting to freeze. So I'm going to have to get this rucksack off and get my beanie on. Oh, this is tough, this. Just yomping through this. You feel like you're getting nowhere. Oh. Compensation is this though. I mean, a bit later. What time is it now? I'm later than I planned. It's 2:20. Sunset's about 4:15, I think. So I've time, but I wanted to give myself more time. But then when I forgot my boots and had to go back, that took me an extra half an hour. And it's slow going through this, as you can imagine. You know, every step you just. And you're slipping backwards. So I'm going. So I picked up that sheep track again. There. And I'm going to get some water. I'll probably just get a litre. I don't want to carry much more up. I mean, my rucksack I think is about 17 kilos. So the litres, that's 18. And I'm going to melt snow when I get up there. It looks like it's plenty. Right, I'll get this rucksack off. Beanie on, get some water. So I made that gradual climb across, there's moors there. There's all these tuffets and it's covered in snow. And I've got a bit of a flat bit now, but it's still really hard going through this. Oh God, I'm aiming for, see the big rock? I'm aiming for that, and then starts this steep ascent, which I'm going to get the trekking poles out for. Oof, I'm getting cold. Hands are cold as well, but I can't be arsed taking my rucksack off, getting my gloves out. Right, so keep going through this. I'll show you what I mean. So it's been like that all the way. Just takes it out of your legs. Really good. And that breeze, you feel it now. You can start seeing across there to, I think that's Barrow. I'm not sure. I need to see the other mountains first before I can identify it properly. Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway, big rock next. These are the dangers I said you've got to be aware of. See that there? No problem. But that's what's underneath. A drop. So yeah, need to be really careful. Oh. I'm actually looking forward. Sorry, my lips are freezing. I'm actually looking forward to this ascent because just to get some rock under my feet, it's absolutely energy sapping this. I've just come across all that. Every step just drains you. Sinking in with every step and pulling yourself out again. I'm nearly at that big rock now and it just seems to have taken forever. So get past that, as we start the ascent, that's rock and we leave this horrible boggy moorland behind. So I just started that ascent. I'm by no means sorry about my lips, by no means at the steep bit yet, but I'm absolutely knackered. I keep having to stop, my legs are just dead. The snow is getting a bit icy now, but it still can't take my weight. As soon as that does see it breaking through, so every step you're pulling out of the snow, and hopefully it's getting a bit more patchy up here, and the ground underneath, God I can't speak, the ground underneath is a bit more rocky. God, it's tiring. I'll tell you what, if you're thinking of doing this, good luck. I'm not joking, it's tough in these conditions in winter. Good luck getting to the car park for a start. You can see out to sea now, Isle of Man's there. I can see North Wales. Yeah, beautiful. Wind's picking up, still nothing, but now that I'm stopped moving, I'm feeling myself getting cold. I can't speak. So I need to keep moving, get generating that body heat again. Get up there. It's 3:10 now, so another hour it'll be dark. I am behind schedule, there's no two ways about it. Right, well it's 3:30 now and that wind has picked up, struggling speaking. Oh, it's frozen. But I decided to change my plans. My hands are absolutely frozen. I literally can't feel my fingers. I need to sort the fingers out, and I'm going to pitch here. It's the first flattish bit. Oh, I literally can't speak. It's the first flattish bit I found, and I'm just exhausted. I'm absolutely exhausted. I'm frozen, and I haven't got the energy to make it up there. So I'm going to get pitched on here somewhere. But that wind's picking up. Hopefully I'll get a bit of shelter in here. Right, I'll leave you for now and get this tent pitched up. Oh, I feel so much better now. Got warm with the jacket on and my hands have come back. My hands were killing me. I've got the tent up, so I'm pretty pleased with that. It's the flattest spot I could find around here. The head ends up there because it's sloping slightly this way, so my head end will be up there and then feet will down this end. But I've used a combination of the MSR Blizzard pegs, the snow type pegs, that type of thing there, and see there, and then where I can dig out, get the pegs in the ground, just use a normal 9-inch pegs. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. I don't know what time it is now. I've got my mittens on. I've done all this with my mittens on, which makes it a bit more difficult, but I could not afford to get my hands cold. They were absolutely killing me. So I'm going to get the stuff's just there inside the tent now and get settled before it goes dark. It must be about 4 o'clock now. Yeah, I'm pleased with this. It's not what I wanted. I wanted to be up there, but sometimes you've got to just do the right thing, and I was getting cold, hands were killing me. that wind was picking up, and I was totally exhausted, if I'm honest. Tromping through that, it's really just energy sapping. Yeah, great views, look at that. Might even get a sunset from here, maybe. Right, I'll get my stuff inside the tent and have a chill out, I think. Oh, finally in the tent, and out of that wind's coming from that direction this way, so I managed to keep this door open because it's hitting that door and going over me, but oh god, I was absolutely frozen. Oh man, this hand, I've just been doing some filming outside and this hand is just gone again. Look at that for views. Sun just setting there. Can't really see it because of that cloud, but can't complain. So I've got my mat pumped up. I'm just sat on that on my mat, so I'm off the ground. But I still haven't got everything sorted out yet, so I'm gonna have to get that lot sorted out. I'll tell you what, I'm hungry as well. So I brought plenty of sandwiches. Again, it's a long night. What time is it? I forgot what time it is. It's 4:20. So I think that's pretty much sunset. Yeah. And sunrise is about 8:30, I think. So it's a long old night. I've not checked what temperature it is at the moment. I can do that later when I get my phone and everything, get everything sorted out. But, temperature tonight is supposed to drop potentially to something like -8. I've had that in my bag and it's reading -0.5, but it's been in my bag, so it's sheltered and probably a bit warmer. So I'll leave that inside the tent, see what that gets to, and I've got another one that I can put outside and see what the difference is. Oh, but yeah, an executive decision had to be made there. I was absolutely exhausted and frozen, and I just kept looking up at that and I thought, what am I doing to myself? And it's beautiful here as well, as much as I'd like to be up there, but I just thought it's just not worth it. And I knew it was going to take me longer to get the tent up because of the conditions. So yeah, right decision, definitely the right decision, and it's still great here. Right, I'm just going to get some more sorted out, and have something to eat, I think, and I'll get back to you in a bit. What I'm going to do now before it goes dark is I always like to get my winter sort of night gear on. So I've got them long johns there, I've got my down trousers, so I'm going to get this gear off now while it's still white, and especially as well when you just stop moving around, that's when you can get really cold. So I think it's important to get your night gear on pretty quick really before you start getting cold. So I'll do that now. Oh, it's cold. So I've got into my thermal gear now. Feels better. Feet are freezing though. I haven't got anything on my feet yet. But I've just got the outside. It's stabilised now as the temps inside my tent at, you can see that, 3.9 minus 3.9. And then outside, I can read on my phone, outside temp is -5.7. Let's just 22, It's 20 to 5 now. Let's just have a look outside. Ooh. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I love that about this tent, having the two doors. Just shut that one now. Wind's blowing in that one, so. And yeah, you can just shut the wind out and then have this door open. It's really nice. You can actually see whales. See, that wind's picking up now, but it's blowing that way, so it's blowing across the tent. Oh yeah. Right, I'm going to get a brew on, I think. That temperature's dropping. I say it was forecast was like -6 tonight, so it'll be interesting to see what it gets down to. But with that wind as well, you need to stay out of that wind in -6. My God, it's absolutely freezing coming up here. But it does seem to have dropped a bit now. But I guess it should pick up in the night. That's what they forecast anyway. Right, I'll leave you for a bit, and I'm going to get something to eat, I think. So I've just got my brew on. Water's starting to freeze. Well, it will do. It's -6.7 or something outside. Temperature in here is not much different in here. See that? -5 in here. Yeah, so I've had a couple of sandwiches. You know what I'm like, sandwich freak me. So I've had a couple of sandwiches, and I'm going to have a brew now, and I brought up a blueberry muffin. So I'm going to enjoy that. I've just been using, let's put you down a minute, hang on. I've just been using this little hand warmer. It's really good. I forgot I had it actually. A Cooper sent it me a couple of years ago, and yeah, it's really good, especially in these sort of temperatures. So I've got it stuffed in my glove, and it's nice. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to this brew. Get something nice and warm, and get my muffin as well. Earned that with that walk today. Bloody hell. So it's getting dark outside now. Stars are beginning to appear. Yeah. I'll get this brew sorted out, I think. So I've remembered to bring my trekker chair tonight. Sit there. I use it without I can't be bothered putting my mat in it. I just use it in the frame, and I find it fine. I tell you what though, this pitch, it's more sloping than I thought. Everything's sort of sliding down to that end of the tent. But we'll deal with it. It's no big problem. And I've also got I got this earlier this year. It's a insulated cup. I used to be obsessed by weight and that, but the little plastic cups that I had, the brew was freezing in a couple of minutes. So with this, that stays warm for like half an hour. So I'm quite happy to carry a little bit extra weight and to have that. But on the way up, I picked up blueberry muffin, which is a bit squashed, but hey ho. On these camps, I try to eat reasonably healthy normally, but on these camps I just eat what I want, because I figure I'm burning that much energy, especially these winter ones when it's cold and you've got a heavy pack. So I just eat what the hell I like, spoil myself on the camps. Yeah, so I'm just enjoying my brew. I'll show you outside. That's the view. Not much for you guys to see because my gear isn't good enough to show you, but I can see all the lights on the down towards Morecambe and Blackpool as well. It's just really clear, totally clear night. Temperature in the tent is currently -5 point something. Cold enough, cold enough. Right, I need to put my glove back on because this hand is frozen, so I'll just enjoy my muffin and get back to you in a bit. Oh. So tent's had time to settle now, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to get outside and just check these guys, because as I always say, it's not about what conditions are now, it's what they might be later tonight, and we need to be prepared for that. So let's have a look. Surprisingly, there's not much frost on the tent, can you see that? But it's really dry. There's very little moisture in the air. That's my thermometer there. Measure the outside temp with that. So yeah, it's pretty good. Oh, and we're back. Back in the tent. Yeah. Well, that's pretty good, that. Hello again, welcome back. I've just got all tucked in again now in my quilt, all nice and warm, and just thought I'd have a bit of chat with you guys and a bit of an update, because it's a while since I did my last video. I just released it just before Christmas, and yeah, you seem to enjoy that one. It seemed to go down really well. I really enjoyed it. It was a brilliant camp, that. But this isn't my first camp this year. My first mountain this year, I went out on New Year's Day and did a walk with Evanier and Robert, who's a YouTuber, Moffat Mountain Adventure. Went out with them guys up into Arica, and that was a great day out in the snow. Just did a walk, and then last weekend I went out with Evanier, and that was a monster trip. That, I think it was 800 miles in a long weekend I drove, and we summit camped up in Kintail. I can't remember the name of but it was an absolute slog to get up that. Munro as well, but I didn't do any filming. I just couldn't be bothered. I've just sort of gone off YouTube a bit recently, so I just helped Evanier film for her video. Did some stuff with her, which was good. But when I say I've gone off YouTube, I don't mean YouTube itself. I mean, YouTube doesn't dictate who watches my videos, really. And I've noticed last year my videos probably suffered a 20% decline, which is in views, which is a lot. Yeah, it is a lot. And I just thought, what's going on here? And it just sort of took a bit of the motivation out of it. I was still motivated to get out, but I just thought I can't be bothered filming, because there's a lot of effort to film, and although I do enjoy it and the editing, but it just sort of knocked the stuffing out of me a bit, that with the view just seemed to be going down and down, so I just got turned off by it, really. And when I watch other people's channels, it's obvious to see what people want to watch. You know, if you do a video in a storm, heavy rain, all that malarkey, look at the videos that people are making in those sort of conditions, and they're getting thousands and thousands of views. Also cooking, that's another one that people seem to like to watch, but I've no interest in cooking, I've no interest in storms, heavy rain, any of that, so I ain't going to be doing them videos, despite if I know if I did, the views would just go crazy, but I've just no interest in it. I've had way more than enough drama in my life in the past 3 years, and I don't want any more drama. I want to be at peace. I want nice quiet camps like this, although it's freezing, which I don't mind, and I want to share views with you. I want to share the routes with you. Sat in a tent cooking and listening to the tent rattling all night, it just doesn't do it for me. But I know a lot of people enjoy watching that, which is absolutely fine. But that's what I meant when I said I ain't going to change what I do just to get views, because I'm not. But if that's what people want to watch, absolutely fine. Yeah, so I'm out tonight on a solo one, as you can see, and I'm enjoying filming this because the conditions are nice, and it's been good to have a bit of a break from it. But yeah, I'm enjoying it now, and see if anyone's interested in watching this. You know, the Lake District is a place that I love, and this area it just feels like home. But it's a tough home sometimes, especially in conditions like this. This route today, I've done it in summer, well, I've done it in non-winter conditions, and it's tough because getting across those bogs, so a lot of it's pathless, is pretty tough, and then you've got this ascent. So today, although I really wanted to get up there, I knew it was the right thing to do, because I was totally exhausted and my hands were killing me. The cold had just got to my hands, and I thought, the thought of getting myself up another 400 feet, steep 400 feet, and then pitching the tent, it would probably have been starting going dark by then, pitching the tent with my hands feeling like that. I just thought, my GoPro screen just went off. I thought the camera had died, but it hasn't. Yeah, and pitching the tent with my hands feeling like that, I mean, they were really bad. So I just needed to make a decision there and then. I thought it's the right thing to do, and you know I wanted to get to the top, but sometimes you've got to be sensible, and I know I made the right decision, although I didn't want to make that decision, but it's the right thing to do. So here we are, and it's great here, it really is. It is great. So that's just a bit of an update for you. If you've got any comments on what I've said there, I'm happy to hear from you. Some of you guys have said already in the comments that you prefer my solo videos, which I get that, and you prefer my Lake District videos. I think that's where people tend to look for me, doing my videos in the Lake District, which is fine. I don't mind, but I ain't going to change what I do to get views, that's for sure. I'm just going to carry on doing what I do, doing what I enjoy, and hopefully that will come across in the videos. Right, I think I'm going to make another brew, because I really enjoyed that and I finished it, so I'm going to make another brew, I think. Aye. Well, that wind's picking up now. Nothing major, but I just see the tent moving around a bit. You can see a bit of ice forming there on the inside of the tent as well. Temperature is minus 4.7 inside the tent, and I've just had a look at outside. It's minus 6 outside. I think I'm going to I fancy a bounty, so I think I'm going to just settle down now and have myself a bounty. I've got the vents open there, just allowing a bit of airflow, but I don't want too much, obviously, because it becomes drafty then. Yeah, you can see the ice forming on the tent, but it's pretty normal, that. And my water, that's my water. Yep, brought that as well. Pea bottle, saves me getting out the tent. Right, I think that's it for tonight for you guys. I'm warm enough in here as usual, at minus 4.6. Got all my gear on, warm enough now. As I said before, it is a bit slopey, this pitch, but it's no big deal. I noticed that earlier I heard a plane and it sounded quite close, and when I had a look out, it was one of them big Hercules things, just going through the valley, about probably lower than me actually. I could see it in the dark, all lit up. So they obviously use this area for training exercises. I've seen them before. Right, so sunrise is 8:25 I think, and I'll be moving about before then, no doubt. Just see if we can get a nice sunrise, although the mountains at this side of the tent are probably blocking the sunrise until it's actually risen. But I'm not rushing to get away from here tomorrow. It's supposed to be a nice day, although they're still really cold. Right, I'll sign off for tonight and I'll see you in the morning. See ya. Well, good morning. It's 8:22 now, and the sun rises at 20 past 8 I think. But as you can still see, it's bloody freezing. Minus 4.8 in the tent, and it's minus 6 outside. I've just opened the door, but I also just took one of my gloves off to hold back the door there, and within 20 seconds my fingers were absolutely frozen. So I've got my little hand warmer inside my glove, but it's been in there for a couple of minutes and they're still frozen. God, it really does. Whoa, but look at that. Not a bad view at all. As I said last night, I don't think I'm going to get a direct sunrise because it's round that corner that way, but it's still nice to see. Let's have a look. Let's have a look on there. Yeah, beautiful winter's morning, but absolutely freezing. I think last night I looked at my temperature recorder, and I think it dropped to minus 7.8 last night. Yeah, bloody freezing. Right, I think I'm just going to get this quilt back over me and just enjoy this sunrise for a bit. So look at that. Oh God, been blinded. Sun's up now. Take you guys outside and show you around. Oh. Oof. See how there's hardly any frost on the tent? It's so dry. What I did, I built up these little walls last night. It was quite windy and it was getting underneath the tent. The tent's not on a particularly flat surface, so it was getting underneath the skirt of the tent, so I just built these little walls up to deflect the wind a bit. But as you can see, look, so dry, there's no frost on the tent. But look at that. Something's up there, slight side. Wow. And as I often say, I'll say it again, I haven't seen anyone since I left the car. These are my type of places, really quiet, but also places where you don't want to get it wrong. Still -6. And my route back will be across all that lot. Breeze has picked up now. In fact, I'll get my anemometer out and measure the wind speed and the wind chill. Yeah, it's cold, but beautiful as well. If you're prepared to make the effort, and it is an effort, a real effort getting up here, this is what you get. This is the reward. Tent's a bit of a bomb site. I've been struggling with batteries. My GoPro, my drone wouldn't fly because the batteries were so cold, so I've had to warm them up. My phone's not charging because it won't charge because it's too cold, so everything's getting hit by the cold. Here's my water. Fortunately, I've got another water that's only partly frozen. It'll be fine. I've got a brew that I half drunk, so I'm gonna warm that up and have that again. But I haven't done anything to eat yet, so I think it's time to get the kettle on. A bit warmer inside the tent. Yeah, right. Get that kettle on, I think. Well, it's nearly 11 o'clock now, and everything's warming up really nicely. Look at that. I've had all my gear out in the sun there, get it warmed up. It was 6 degrees in the tent, went from -6 to 6. But it's a lovely time of morning this when it's sunny and the sun gets on your tent. It's, oh, look, hands are warm. Ooh, feel that. I feel that heat on my hands. Really nice. But I've been thinking, doing quite a bit of thinking, and I was disappointed having not made it to the summit last night, but it was definitely the right thing to do. I was absolutely exhausted, and I've just been having a look around, and the thought of coming back here in winter, getting across that again with all this gear, is just a nightmare. So what I'm thinking while I'm here, I'm 3/4 of the way up. If I can get up to the top, I can have another night. But the forecast for tonight is, it's like winds are going to be in the 30s, and when it's these sort of temperatures, it's going to be absolutely freezing. And the snow forecast in the night as well. Hopefully it shouldn't be too much of a problem. I think up there I can get behind some rocks and get a bit of shelter. And another thing I've been looking at is how much gas I've got left. I think I'm okay for gas. I can scrap some bits of food together. I've not got much food, but I don't really need that much. I've got a chocolate bar, a couple of cereal bars, a flapjack, and I've got one of these dehydrated meals that I didn't have last night. So I think I said earlier, the forecast after today, the forecast for today is Thursday, the forecast for Friday is turning crap, and then there's westerlies coming in Friday night, and it's basically going to be raining all weekend, and the temperatures are going to be rising, and it's going to be really windy, so it's looking horrible. So I'm thinking I want to take the opportunity while I'm 3/4 of the way up, while I'm here and it's still nice, it's supposed to be okay tonight, to have another night. Look at that. What do you reckon? Yeah, what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to pack up slowly, have a nice easy lazy pack up, see how I feel when I've got the tent packed up. But I will pack the tent up with in mind that I'm going to be pitching it in another couple of hours when I get up to the top there. But as you know, there's no real snow on it. It's great conditions for packing it up. It should be pretty dry to get up there. Part of it, the thought of going back across that lot, oh, it's just horrendous. So I'm thinking I might as well have another night up there, and then I've got to do that anyway tomorrow. So right, I'll have a think about it and decide what I'm going to do. So that's me all packed up, leave no trace. I have left a bit of a trace, that's where I poured my cold tea out, but yeah, apart from that, pretty tidy, apart from the snow's a bit messy where I've been. Yeah, so as I said, I'm all packed up. My plan now is to head up there and see if I can find somewhere to spend tonight. That was my original plan, but I was just too exhausted having come across this section here. I was just too exhausted, so it's been such a nice day, although the forecast for tonight isn't great. It's supposed to get pretty windy and the wind's already picking up now, but I'm not sure what conditions are going to be like up there, so experience has taught me to put crampons on before you think you might need them. So crampons are on, ice axe there. I'm just going to take this big jacket off because it's going to be too hot going up there with this on. So we get this off and start heading up there.